Welcome to Center Heist Productions. Please hit the like and subscribe down in your right-hand corner. I'd muchly appreciate that. Help the channel grow. All right, let's get right to it. Interesting game tonight. Down to our last two games of the season, and our debut of Lane Hudson against the Detroit Red Wings. All right, so this game ended off going to overtime, and the final score was 5-4 for Detroit. I gotta say, didn't look good for Detroit in the early goings, even in, I think, almost to the midway of the third. Habs had a 4-2 lead and blew it. So, good to see, for the tank purposes, but we still gained a point. But important implications for Detroit. So it was. I was kind of surprised they didn't come out in a better, urgency right from the get-go. So Habs did come out, and we gave them all they could handle. So we're going to get right down to the stats first. All right, box score for. All right, so Montreal gets 2 goals to Detroit's 1. And then in the first period, and then 2-1 again in the second. So you got a 4-2 game there, and then Detroit comes back latter stages of the third to tie it up. Very dramatic fashion. And then, of course, in overtime, Detroit wins it with Lucas Raymond getting pretty much a breakout against Lane Hudson. So interesting game. And he made no mistake. Lucas Raymond get a couple goals in there, and so did Comper, though they were quite up to snuff. And so was Sherratt, and I would say Sider. I say those were, and Larkin. Those guys were really up to par. So recap, Lucas Raymond scored 4:35 into overtime after he got a game-tying goal with 1:17 left in regulation, lifting the Detroit Red Wings over the Montreal Canadiens in a 5-4 win over the Montreal Canadiens on Monday night to keep their hopes alive, but very dramatic. Detroit has to win tomorrow. We're still down to, I think, a 3-game race, 3 to 4. Islanders managed to claim the 7th spot in the wild card position. So there's only one spot available now, and it's between Washington and Detroit. I believe Pittsburgh and Philly. However, I believe it's going to come down to the best chances being the Caps and the Wings. So we're going to hope that Detroit beats us and gets that spot, and the Caps need to lose. So Detroit drew iron on 2 shots in overtime before Raymond's shot from the right circle got past Sam Montembeault. Brendan Gallagher had a fabulous game, 2 goals. Montembeault stopped 30 shots. Canadians who were scored early 2 goals. We had a 4-1 late in the second period, and JT Comper pulled the Wings within a goal midway through the first period. Scored again, but cut their deficit to 2 late in the second. Alex DeBrincat made it 4-3 in their comeback midway through the third, and then Detroit made up for Alex Lyon giving up 2 goals on the first 3 shots he faced, allowing 2 or more goals in the second period and finishing with 17 saves against the team. Far from removed him from playoff contention. Wings earned a spot in 25 straight postseason game in history. So anyway, that's that. Let's get down to the Stars. Clearly, Lucas Raymond, dramatic fashion, coming on late in the third and then getting that overtime. Great game by him. What a fabulous young player to watch. 2 goals plus 3 for him. And then Comper, who was in it all night, right from when the puck dropped. 2 goals. Just beautiful. He's always Mr. Critical. I love Comper. Alex DeBrindicat came through tonight for Detroit too, and it was much needed. This is what you get a guy like that for. 1 goal, 1 assist, plus 3. So scoring summary, we got 425. Brendan Gallagher gets a nice one, assisted by Savard, and that was a nice goal. Justin Barrett, guess what is he bats it out of the air from a pass from Josh Anderson and Jake Evans, and on a rolling puck, he got a nice shot above their goaltender. And that was nice for him to see him get that. JT Comper came back at 8:11, just by Brenda Cat and Ben Sherrod, who had a strong game. Period 2, Raphael at 5:15. Raphael Harvey Pinard, and assisted by Jake Evans and Kovacevic. You kind of thought it was almost over at that point. 15:26, Brendan Gallagher again. A weird bounce off the boards and behind the net there. And it came right out to Gallagher, and he made no mistake. Goalie didn't have much of a chance, assisted by Jake Evans. At 15:59, JT Comper, assisted by Perrin and Kane, and they did a wonderful job of at least getting out of the 4-2. Then 10:38, it was looking bad for them. But Alex DeBrindicat with Gostafir making a beautiful jump leap in the air to keep that puck in Montreal's end. And you gotta say hats off to him, because the puck should have been going out. But what a great jump to keep things alive. It's just a show. Alex DeBrindicat, assisted by Gostafir and Ollie Mata. And then at 18:43, Lucas Raymond, great passing play. Actually, I think that was on the Raymond goal. Sorry, the goal here more so. The Gostafir kept it in to Perron, so it would have. I don't think it was on the Brendicat goal. So 18:43 overtime, 4:35. Lucas Raymond assisted by Larkin, and Shane Gostafir. He had an exceptional game as well. He was kind of crucial for them, and Larkin had a solid game. So shots wasn't even close. So I mean, Montembeault did quite well under the circumstance. 35 shots to 21, hits 30 to 25 for Montreal, faceoffs 27 to 25 for Montreal. Power plays, none for the Habs, 1 for the Wings. They were 0 for 1. Penalty minutes 2 for the Habs. So this is a very disciplined game. It was not much dirtiness out there. Giveaways 3 to 6 for the Wings. Takeaways 5 to 4 for the Wings. Blocked shots. This was an incredible stat by the Habs. 33 blocked shots compared to 11. That was just incredible. So they did quite well in that department. All right, so for penalty summary, no penalties in the first. Second period, Michael Pezzetta gets a 2-minute for tripping at 6:43, and that was it for penalties. So it was it ended in dramatic fashion. Thank God the game got a little more exciting towards the end of the third. For me, I really found this game to be kind of dull, to be honest with you. Even though we were ahead, and that's great and dandy, but we were sitting back on our laurels too much, and just trying to. And I'm glad we did lose. So I'm kind of disappointed that we took a point. But anyway, let's hope Ottawa surpasses us. They got a couple games still to go, I guess, in hand. So let's hope, and let's hope we lose tomorrow. But with that being said, it tightens everything up, and I'm really hoping Detroit kind of steals that last spot. I'd like to see them get in there. That's that's just who I'd like to see. I think I'm tired of seeing Washington. With I just think their time is up, and I think the same thing with the Pens. These are two teams for me. I think I'd rather see them miss. However, you got to give hats off. They're still winning, and if Washington wins tomorrow, I think they get the spot. So they're going to really have to rely on whoever Washington is playing to dig out and get that victory for them, because it's going to be a tough one to pull for the stars to align for them. It gets pretty challenging. Let's see who they end up playing tomorrow. The Caps. Okay, so still a couple days left, but now we're down to one game left and our season's done. That's just wow. So now, we've got the Wings in Montreal tomorrow, so I'll be doing a review on that game, and then I will do another video or two, or a few, ranking who did what and what players how rate their ratings, uh, what their accomplishments were, and what their grades were. All right, and then then you got the Capitals playing the Flyers, and I think that's an easy one for the Caps, to tell you the truth. And I say that because of the way the Flyers have been playing so poorly. I'd love to see the Flyers upset them. I just don't see it, but we shall see, and that's really all you can do, because it's out of Detroit's hands, really. And I mean, even the Penguins still get a shot the following night against the Islanders, and they're going to go full tilt. So it's going to be interesting to see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, that spot will be taken tomorrow, and like I say, I hope it's. I think, all honesty, I think if Washington could, if they win, they're in. If they lose and Detroit wins, I think Detroit's in. Um, and that would be great to see. I'd just like to see them. They got a beautiful young team. I don't know what went wrong in the last 3 weeks, because they were so up there with Toronto, and it just kind of come off the track. So, although I think they're going to have problems if they do get in. Although, so will Washington. Only difference with the Capitals is they got more of a veteran squad. But I think it'd be nice to see a nice young squad come out of these rebuilds like the Wings, get in there. So we're going to hope for the Wings and hope we lose, as long as we play respectable. That's really what matters. Um, Defensively, unfortunately for Hudson, yes, on the first goal he gets a nice assist to Gallagher. What a nice pass! Pass up towards the front of the net, and it pops out to Gallagher, and he buries it. So Hudson's first assist, very nice, to see him get that. Great way to get into the league, and Galley lets him go up and slap the hands first, and gets him the puck, even though Galley scored it. So that was all nice for the storyline. However, there was a couple of, and it showed in the overtime. He got beat. He got beat by Lucas Raymond, and I'm sure a lot of our podcasts won't admit to that. But he's young. He's a kid, and I thought he had an all right game for being his first game. I think he had a couple shaky moments where, that was one goal, and another play. I think he had play or two. He had some issues as well that didn't catch their man, and Harris got caught a couple times too. Um, I almost think that even Kovacevic, same thing between him and Dvorak. They kind of misplayed one of those goals. I want to say that was the Brundy Cats. No, it was Lucas Raymond's. It was Lucas Raymond's third period goal, and he came right out from the side and buried it. And that was really caught Kovacevic out of position a bit, but it was also Dvorak's man as well. So they both kind of got outplayed on that. So there was a few mistakes. I thought that taking Struble at the lineup for Hudson was the right move, because he was the shakiest out of the bunch of late for some reason. Not sure why. But anyway, it is what it is. Like I say, I think the kid's got a lot to prove. That's why I'm not, I'm glad I'm in his corner 100%, but I'm not like everybody else. Just, his game has to translate to the NHL. Now, he played an okay game, but he made some mistakes too, which is to be expected from a kid. Um, I think when he meets Selma, we just got to wait and see what transpires. He didn't look too bad, except you can see where his size comes into play in their own end. But other than that, he's got some nice wheels. Uh, that's for sure. I'm just looking forward to seeing what he can do on a power play. That's kind of what I wanted to see. I thought it was kind of a bit risky putting him out there in the overtime, but I think Martin was hoping if he could get loose, and he almost pulled off a shot there, and they came right back, but that's where they caught him. Anyhow, not a bad game. Again, though, I mean, when you have a 4-2 lead, you should be able to shut that door. I'm glad they couldn't. That was a great comeback because Detroit had to win that. So let's hope that Washington loses and Philly wins their game. Um, and Detroit beats us and gets in. And let's, again, I get a kick out of Ottawa because we know Ottawa could steal a game from somebody if they really wanted to. So I think we're now tied with them. I'm a little concerned about that. So that didn't make me too happy in that regard. But other than that, and I want to speak on other things. Glad to see uh, Hudson sign. And we kind of knew he was going to, the writing was on the wall that he was going to be played against Detroit, where that's where around he was located, and his family was there to watch his game. So it was kind of obvious that that was what was going to be. And I think it's good that they put him in 2 games. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the defense come training camp, though. They get some definite decisions to make him. Where do you place him? I think I keep him up there, and if you could just keep him for, but that's tricky too. Special teams more so would be his effective spot. Go with 11-7. But anyway, with that being said, it was a good solid game. Good to see them get Luke Tuck signed as well. Now that to me is an important signing. Just like I hope they get Kapanen signed as well, because I think, like I say, we're our tires are being pumped that we got such a stock and great talent, and really it's all on defense. If you look at Laval, we've only got 2 players that we got a shot at hoping they get in, and that's Owen Beck and Machar. But yet their size is not very good. I don't know if um, that's going to be tricky because they're on the smaller side. And to me, I wouldn't want more than 3 forwards being small. So that means, yes, you could probably go through it for now until Galley is at the time of being done playing. Harvey Pinard, yes, he scored tonight, and he scored a nice one. He's not going to me, he's sorry. He played, like I say, he played a half decent game, but he's not an NHL. Yolonen, I'd be done with him after this one, or figure out something, because I'm not impressed. Um, Anderson again, he finally got one half decent hit in there, but other than that, he's such a letdown. And other than that, Armia, um, Evans, Gallagher, and Newhook, they had pretty half decent games, I would have to say, on those guys. Again, same thing with Pizzetta, but he didn't get much ice time. So you can't, and I say this for, one thing I'm noticing this season, boy, has Jake Evans turned into quite nicely. He's been doing quite well this year as a setup guy. Wow, I mean, he's really earning another year for Montreal for sure. Shocking me. He's a good character player. Just feeds the puck nicely to players. Nice to see it. He works so hard. He's deserving. But other than that, it was Monty didn't have a bad game, but I think I've been concerned about goaltenders going down too soon anyway, and they tend to do it a lot. There was a lot of crossbar post shots tonight too, so we had some luck on our side, but we still lost, thank God. Anyway, with that being said, let's hope we stay in that 5th bottom at some point here, and to have that positioning in the draft at least. And that'll be it. You've seen it here first at Center Heights Productions. Please hit the like, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Muchly appreciated. And we shall be back with the final game, and that'll be Lane Hudson's debut in Montreal. So that should be interesting to see. I like watching this kid just to see, but he's got a long ways to go. Not horrible. Um, they all seem to make some mistakes, even the vets. So he's got some learning to do. And I just have to say, I think too many people jump on a bandwagon before somebody's game has translated to the NHL, and we got to be careful there. So thank you for joining me. We shall catch you tomorrow night, and let's hope all goes well and we lose and keep that fifth spot. So from Center Ice Productions, God bless.